Hello, good afternoon, everyone. This is Chef Mukesh Rawat from Apka India, and I would like to welcome to Apka India. And today I have got an opportunity to do the demo on eggless, uh, and I will show you the eggless process, how the eggless dessert is been processed. Okay, and I will be not able to hear you guys because the video will be mute. I mean your, and you will be hear me out. And however, because we are recording the video and it will be available on YouTube so that you can see same video in next time also. Okay, but I'll be going as per the process. Okay, one by one. So today I'm going to make a raspberry and lychee delight. Okay, this is the name of our desserts, and I will be going to use the log mold basically. Okay, and first thing, there's a few things what I'm going to make is number one, lychee confit. Number two, I'm going to make a sugar syrup, which is raspberry sugar syrup. And number three, I'm going to make a raspberry cheese mousse cake. And I'm going to make an Italian meringue, which is used by aquafaba, which is chickpea water. And the final one, what I'm going to do the assembling and the glazing also. I'm going to make a glaze also, which is eggless. Okay. So here I'm going to start with a sponge first because we have to make first base. Okay, if because the sponge take a little bit of time for baking and as well as to cool down. So I'm going to make a eggless sponge, which is raspberry sponge. And here are the ingredients. The ingredients is we have a flour, okay, and we have a xanthan gum, we have a oil, we have a baking soda, baking powder, we have a raspberry puree, and we have a water and sugar. So I have divided these recipe into two parts. So one part is liquid with the sugar. The another part is all dry ingredients. However, I have measured all the dry ingredients in separate bowl so that you are aware that you know I'm going to use. Otherwise, if I put in one bowl, you will be not able to know what all ingredients I'm going to use. So I start with first with a sponge. Okay. So here we start. The best part is for this sponge, we don't require whisk. Okay. And the recipe will be very easy to do. So I'm not using any whisk. I'm using paddle here. Okay. For this recipe. Okay. So I'll start with a with a puree first thing. So we go here the close look. Okay. First we go with a puree. Okay. Just go the close look. Okay. The second I'm going to go with the sugar. Okay. And the third one I'm going to go the water here. Okay. The fourth one I'm going to oil. So all the liquid with the sugar I'm going to make. Okay. The first thing I'm going to put all the liquid, as I said, with the sugar. Okay. So here is my recipe. The first step has been done, and I'm going to mix it here. So we can show you a little bit of close look. Okay. So we are not going to use any eggs here. Okay. And I'll just mix it. So basically, I have to dilute the sugar with the liquid. Okay. So I dilute nicely. So until the sugar is now dilute, I'll be not able to make a nice sponge. Okay. So by the time what I'm going to do next I'm going to do the other side. The flour, the xanthan gum. I hope everyone knows the xanthan gum is the basically the stability what I give. Baking powder and baking soda. I'm going to mix together basically. Okay. So the thing is, our sponge will be aerated nicely. Okay. So here, why we sieve it, so that, you know, we aerate our flour, and when we mix it, it will be really nice and easy for me to work. Okay. So here I'll just mix a little more, and I can see the small sugar chunks inside. So I want to mix this one very nicely and then make a sponge. Okay. So I can show you here. So I go with the close camera, which is the Apka one. So Apka is the close camera, guys. So you can, you know, choose the camera, which camera you want to use, the angle. So Apka one, I will show here. This is the close one, and you can see it's already mixed nicely. And now what I'm going to do here, I'm going to put all my dry ingredients inside of the machine bowl. Okay. Slowly, and I took the small recipe. I didn't take the big recipe. Okay. The reason, because I'm going to make a one dessert only. So according of that, I have taken a small recipe. So I mix it. You just go slowly, and side by side my tray. However, I'm going to use a small oven. My tray is ready, and my oven is also ready, which is almost 180 degrees centigrade. Okay. So your oven has to be preheated. So my oven is on, which is already in 180 degrees centigrade, and I'm going to bake almost around, say, about 9 to 10 minutes. Okay. Make sure there's no lumps, and you should not mix too much also, because as everyone knows, the flour has a gluten, and there's the chances to form the lumps. You just mix it nicely from the side, and again you can churn it, okay, for a while. So basically it will be not like a fluffy sponge, it will be like a batter kind of thing. Okay. And it's ready. So I don't want to whip too much. I don't want to mix too much, otherwise form lumps. So you can see the consistency. It will be like a batter. Okay. It's like a batter. Okay. So I'll just clean the paddle. Okay. Make sure there's the less wastage. Okay. So I mix one more time with a spatula nicely and scrub the side. Okay. So okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to spread it long. However, I'm going to make a like a log shape of cake. Okay, I'm not going to make a round. I'm going to make a log shape. So I want like sponge to be in the length. The another thing is your sponge shouldn't be very, very thin. I shouldn't be too thick as well. So I make sure the thickness of my sponge is average, okay, or medium. It should be like a 3 to 4 mm thick, not too thin. Okay. If it is too thin, it will get crisp and become dry. So here I spread it, and I'm going to bake it. So the oven is ready. So I bake it here. Next, what I'm going to do, this mold seems too big for me, but I'm going to, however you see here, it's narrow. So I want to give very good angle to my cake. Okay, however, I'm going to make a log one. I would have set jelly or confit here only, but I don't want to use, because I will get the curve, basically half moon shape. So I don't want half moon shape. I want a little bit of a triangle shape. When I cut my cake, I see the triangle. Okay. So that's why I'm going to use this one, this mold. So basically I'm going to make a confit now. Okay, confit now. So I'm going to use this oven. I mean, this mold basically, and this mold I'm going to use for the mousse, the final product. Okay, so I keep here, and this mold I will use first. Okay, so here you can see the recipe. We have a cherry puree, we have a sugar, we have a we have a lychee puree, we have a sugar, we have a agar agar, and sorry, we have a pectin and we have a glucose, we have a cherry chopped here. Okay, basically. So here what I'm going to do, I'll use a saucepan, a small saucepan I take. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, first I'm going to melt the uh, juice, lychee juice, and sugar. So sugar, what I'm going to do, sugar I'm going to put in the two parts. So one small parts in the pectin. So pectin is basically fruit protein, okay, which is available in the fruit cells, okay, outside of the fruit cells. So that is like, you know, fruit pectin. I'm going to mix it here, and that is the technique agent basically here. Instead of gelatin, I'm going to use the pectin, okay. And here what I'm going to do, first I add the lychee puree and half of the sugar. Okay, so I'll turn on. Okay, so here the thing is, and glucose is also like a sugar. So I add glucose also inside here. Okay, so you can have a close look. I will cook until my puree is 45 degrees centigrade. Okay, 45 degrees centigrade. So basically here you go slowly, very, very slow. Here I have my thermometer. I'll just turn it on. And that's all. I'll turn it off. I'm going to add the pectin slowly, gradually, and you just mix it. Better you change with a whisk, because whisk is better to mix it slowly. Why we add sugar here? The thing is, if you add only pectin, your pectin is going to form a lumps. But the moment you add sugar, sugar is going to absorb the heat, maximum heat, and there's a less chances to form the lump. That's why we add the sugar along with the pectin. And now we'll bring a good boil. Okay, so we'll bring a boil, then I'll mix the lychee, chopped lychee, and then I'll fill up inside of my mold. So this is very small recipe. It's almost like 150 grams full recipe. So I'm going to pour everything here inside 150 grams. If you have a big recipe, suppose you have a big recipe and you want to make a 2-3 cake at a time, so then you have to weigh it. Okay, so you should have a weighing scale that time. You just weigh it, and so that when you sell the cake, all the cakes is same height and same amount of texture are there and same weight basically. Okay. So I'll bring a good boil here. So here, you know, some of the people, they ask like, you know, they want to use the agar agar. Agar you can is also like a thickening agent, but if you make a jelly kind of things with the agar agar, what happens? Your jelly will dry. Okay, after some time. Basically, the shelf life is not too much. So I suggest you go with the pectin, because the pectin is really good and it's set nicely, and the shelf life is also quite big. Now you can see the boil has come here. Okay, I'll stop it yourself, mix it nicely, and I'm going to mix the lychee chunks inside of my jelly. Okay, and then I'll pour it here. Okay, so if you see, this mold is very nice, sturdy. So what I'm going to do, I can lift it like this. Otherwise, you should have a base, nice base. But I have kept base aside. I'll pour inside and then I'll put in the blast chiller. Okay, so blast chiller is basically the quick refrigerator, which is almost minus 31 degrees centigrade right now. So it's already been there. So I want to add all my puree because this recipe I took as per the size of this mold. So there's nothing wastage. Okay. So it's 150. So I can show you the close look. It's right now it's a little bit of runny. Once I keep in the freezer or deep freezer, it will be set. Okay. So I keep here and I'll keep in the blast chiller. And next recipe, I'll take is raspberry syrup. So raspberry syrup I'm going to do here, and side by side my oven is also blinking. So I'll take it. My sponge is ready. I'll take the sponge out. So here I can show you. So this is the sponge. Okay. So you can see here the sponge is really nice, fluffy, and you can see the texture. Okay. Okay. So this is how it's supposed to be. So I'll just keep aside here. I'll let it cool down. And by the time I'm going to make the syrup. Syrup is very, very simple recipe, guys. Very, very simple. And here I have a raspberry puree. I have a water. I have a sugar. I'll just bring a boil and the syrup is ready, basically. Okay. So you can see the raspberry puree, what we are going to use here is the rabi fruit, basically. Okay. So I pour the raspberry puree inside of my saucepan. And I'll put little bit of water here so that I don't waste too much of puree. So guys, just for your information, instead of gelatin, we are going lots of pectin here. The pectin and what I'm using is NH pectin, which is reversible. Okay, once you make something and you want to melt it again, basically if you have a leftover jelly and you want to keep in the fridge and you want to melt it and use it again, you can do that with the NH pectin. But if you are using yellow pectin, it's non-reversible. You cannot melt it, or you try to melt it, form lumps, it becomes too thick. Okay, so I'm using NH pectin, fruit pectin. So here I'll just bring a boil. So basically why I'm heating up here, because I want to dilute the sugar. That's why. Okay. So here you can go a little bit of close look. Bring a nice boil. Okay. So bring a boil nicely. If you want to go close look, you can go with the Apka camera. Okay. So you can see then it's already start boiling. Okay. So what I'm going to do after this, I want the jelly, and I'll put the sponge on top of the jelly. Okay, and then I will freeze it. Yeah. The same jelly. Okay, so here it's almost cold, and the syrup I'll keep here. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to demold my sponge. It's cold because I kept on the marble, so it's really cold. Okay, so you can see this is a close look. This is nice and soft. So we kept our jelly in the fridge. So I'm going to cut. So that's all, and I'm going to put inside of this. So that's the exactly size what I need. And we freeze this one here. So on top of the jelly, I put my raspberry sponge. So basically, it's like a chili confit and a sponge together. Okay, it will stuck. So I'll keep in the blast chiller this one. Once it's freeze, then I will take it out. Okay. So before that, what I'm going to make is mousse. So this is ready, and this one I will keep in the fridge. When I need, I can use it again. So for the mousse, we have a cream cheese 300 gram, and we have a pastry cream 300 gram. We have pectin 9 gram. So here also we are using pectin. We are not using gelatin, guys, because the pectin is one thing which will give the stability to your mousse. Otherwise, your mousse is going to be melt. So basically, I have a cheese here. I have a pastry cream here. I have a sugar, and water. I have a raspberry puree, and I have a pectin basically. So again, we need a whisk and spatula. Okay, so basically what you need here, you put the first puree here inside. Again, you heat up. Okay. The cream I'm going to whip a little bit. The cream has to be like a very, very soft. This one I'll keep and mix it. Side by side, I will again here, little warm, you start adding the pectin with the sugar, which is already mixed a little bit of sugar. Okay, and you mix nicely then. Okay, it's already hot. Mix nine. Make sure the boil is a good boil because the pectin will be active. Okay. So I mix it nicely. Okay, there's the good boil. So you can see it's become thick now. Okay. once it's thick, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to add the cream cheese, because however my mixture is hot and I want to dilute, I want to melt the cream cheese nicely there, so that there's no lumps form. Okay, mix nicely. Okay, mix. Good. And side by side, what I'm going to do later, once it's hot, I will add the pastry cream. Okay, so I'll just remove, because the cream cheese has to melt nicely. Make sure there's no lumps form inside of the pan. Okay, because the cream cheese is thick little bit, so I make sure I mash it with a spatula a bit, and then mix with the whisk. Okay, so it will be really easy for you to work. Okay. Okay, it's almost there, and I'll just mix it fast. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to add the pastry cream inside. Okay, and mix it nicely again. Okay, once you add the pastry cream, it's going to be little thick, and here we are going to add the Italian meringue. Everyone knows how to make an Italian meringue with the egg white, but here we are going to make an Italian meringue with the aquafaba, which is chickpea water basically. With the chickpea water, we are going to make a Italian meringue. So what we are going to do, we are going to whip the chickpea water, and side by side, I'll make a sugar syrup, which is 116 to 180 degrees centigrade. I'm going to pour in the chickpea water once it's fluffy, and it becomes nice fluffy and cold. Then I'm going to fold in my mousse. Okay. So the thing is, why we are using Italian meringue, so that our mousse is more soft, light. Okay. Here, if you see, there's so many things is heavy. Here, the cream cheese is heavy, pastry cream is heavy. So that's why we are, and cream is also heavy. That's why we are adding aquafaba, basically meringue, Italian meringue in the last. Okay, so here you see it's almost close. I make sure there's no lumps. I just clean the side of my pan. So you can see it's nice, but seems like little thicker, because right now we didn't fold the cream, and we didn't fold the Italian meringue basically. So here I'm going to whip the cream, and then I'll make the so my cream is cold. Okay, so make sure that your cream is cold, and then you okay. Cool. So here you can see the mixture. It seems a little thicker right now, but once I'll fold the cream, it will be light in a bit. Okay, so I'll put all my mixture in one bowl, because the pan is hot and I don't want to use the hot pan, because the cream will melt. Okay, so I'll put in one bowl. That's all done. Side by side, we whip the cream. Cream, make sure you don't over whip. Okay, it should be like a semi whip basically. Okay. And the mousse is really tasty. So by the time we'll prepare for aquafaba also, okay, which is chickpea water. And chickpea water, basically what you do, you get the tin chickpea, okay, in the market. So you can use the same water also. Otherwise, what you are going to do, you are going to boil the chickpea, okay. First you wash it, then you boil it, and overnight you just keep it, okay. So you are not going to use the chickpea water in the same day. You are going to use in next day. So what we do, we just boil the chickpea water, basically. We boil the chickpea and we take out the chickpea water and we just reduce the chickpea water. If suppose you have a 500 gram of chickpea water, you just reduce it, make it 250 gram of chickpea water. Basically, it becomes thick. So once it's become thick, you just keep it overnight. Next day you take it out and you weigh it how much you need. That much you can weigh and you can use it. Okay. Okay. So here, what I'm going to do, I will just little bit. I'm going to fold here little, and then I will fold in the system because my mousse is little bit of warm. It has to be okay. Basically, when your mousse mixture is like a 43 degrees centigrade, that time if you fold the cream, your mousse will be really smooth when you eat. Okay. So I fold the cream here. So basically the cream is not so much, okay. So once I fold the meringue, it will be more lighter, basically the mousse. Okay, so my mousse is ready here. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to make a meringue. So I'll make a meringue here. So here we have a chickpea water. I pour a chickpea water inside. Okay, and the sugar and water, I'm going to boil it. So chickpea water, you can whip it. So as everyone knows now these days, people are making eggless macaron. So they are making with the chickpea water, aquafaba, or they are using say potato whip with a xanthan gum. Okay. Your recipe also has a xanthan gum. Xanthan gum is basically to emulsify or to give a elasticity to your sponge or your product, basically. Okay. So here, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to use another saucepan with sugar and water. And you should have a thermometer. As if I have kept thermometer in the side. The temperature of my sugar syrup has to be 116 to 117 degrees centigrade. Basically here, the recipe what I'm using is very small. Okay. So whenever you do like Italian meringue, if the quantity is more, it's very easy to make a sugar syrup reach 116 or 117 degrees centigrade. The thing is here, because the quantity is small, I have to be very careful because sometimes what happens, it becomes too thick. It's very difficult to remove from the pan. Okay, so I have to be quick. Okay, so I'm just waiting my chickpea to whip up a little bit. However, the quantity is very small, so I'll just turn it on and make a meringue. After that, I'm going to make a glaze. Okay, so and I'm going to assemble the cake as well. So my mold is here, and insert, as you know, the confit and sponge is in the black sheeter, and within a while it will be hard, and I will assemble the cake. Okay, so I just leave it now. I'm not going to mix it, but I'm going to check the temperature. Okay, but side by side, I keep my eyes on my chickpea water with the aquafaba. Yeah, it's nice fluffy, and now I'm ready here. Okay, if you are making like a Italian meringue with egg also, the egg white also, it's the same method. But here instead of egg white, I have used aquafaba. That's the difference. Okay. So it's almost there because the quantity is very less. Okay. The quantity is less. So I'll just let the water evaporate a little bit. And now I will pour from the side. So basically I just wait a little bit. Once the bubble is evaporated, then I start adding. Okay, so you can see here it's thick sugar syrup. Okay, it becomes so thick. Okay, so if it is in right temperature, it will be like this, like a thick one. Okay, once it's cooled down, it will crystallize. Side by side, I mix the mousse, which is in the right consistency right now, and I'm going to fold the. I'll check like this. Make sure whenever you fold the Italian meringue, you have to check the temperature. It shouldn't be hot. Okay, it should be cold. I can feel it's getting cold. And I'm going to get the hard one insert for this as of my mousse is ready. Okay. I check the meringue, and you will not believe this meringue looks like a made with egg white only, but however it's made with the chickpea water, and it's really nice and fluffy. I feel a little hot, but I'm just waiting. Once it's cooled down a little bit, then I'm going to fold it. Okay, with the mousse. I keep one spoon also with me so that from the side I can fix my mousse, okay, everywhere. Otherwise, what is going to happen? Sometimes you trap the air bubble. Once you trap the air bubble, uh, then it's difficult. When you pour the glaze, that time it will just pop up, and you will get the bubble on top of the glaze, and your cake will not look nice. So you have to be careful, basically. Okay. So it's almost done. Okay. Here you can see. Okay. It's like a egg white meringue, but however it's been made with the chickpea water. Okay. So it's ready. I'm going to fold in my mousse. Okay. So I'll take out the meringue. Why we make Italian meringue? The reason is because the Italian meringue is ready to consume basically. Okay. It's already cooked. Number two, like a chickpea water, we are pouring the same way Italian meringue, I mean a hot sugar syrup. Reason is we don't want that smell, chickpea smell coming in our mousse. So that's why we had a hot sugar syrup and we made an Italian meringue basically. So it's not an Italian meringue, it's like a virgin. We have, you know, made instead of Italian using egg white, we are using chickpea water, but the method is same like Italian meringue. Okay. So I fold it nicely. Now my mousse is light. Okay, it's become more lighter because of the meringue. Here, I fold it, cut and fold method. Okay. Like that. Now what I'm going to do, okay, what I'm going to do now here is I fill up the, here I have a, if you don't have a piping bag holder guys, you can use say about like a jug or mug, whatever you have available in your house, you can use that one. But the mouth has to be a little big so that easily you can pour the mixture inside. Okay. So like that. And make sure there's no plastic falls in your food. Here. So then I will use the tray, I'll keep inside of the tray. Okay. Yeah, like this. Fill half, keep inside of the thing. Here I use the spoon so that my mousse reach everywhere and there's no lumps form. Okay. So that's why. Like that. I will tap it nicely and I'll use the tray. Okay. To keep in the here. So now you can see the jelly, what I set inside of this mold. Okay, it's nice frozen and the sponge is on the base. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to push it inside, but I'll fill little more mousse. I feel it's little less, I'll fill little more and then I'll press it. So just pick it up like that and then you just push it. And I want to show the sponge on top a little bit. Okay, and then I'll use the syrup also, however it's a hot syrup. You can do this process before also, okay, but never mind, you can do when you assemble that time also. However, the syrup is hot, it's the sponge is absorbing nicely like that. Okay, and then I'll pipe from the side. Don't fill too much, little bit like that. I will tap it. Okay, and I will take a small palette knife. I don't want a big palette knife, a small palette knife, and just swipe it. I want the side to be clean. Okay, so that when I demold it, it's very easy for me to demold. Like that. Okay. After that, what we are going to do, I'm going to make a glaze. Like that, I'll keep on the, and then we are putting in the blast chiller again, in blast freezer, say about half an hour, 45 minutes, and it will be set. By the time our glaze will be ready, once the glaze is ready, then we demold it, we pour over it. So for glaze, we will be making one tray ready with a cling wrap and a grill. Okay. So I'm going to make now glaze. For the glaze, you have the cream. I'll take a small saucepan. I have a cream. I have a sugar. I have a agar agar. Here I'm not using, guys, pectin. I'm using agar agar. Okay, because agar agar you can melt easily and you can pour. However, it's a glaze. So I'm using agar agar. Okay. So agar agar basically, if you remember, pectin we used when the temperature of our mixture was 45 degrees centigrade, because that time it will be active. Okay, and it will dilute nicely and it will active. But agar agar is a different. Agar agar is a cyclic agent again, and you get from the plants. Okay, so basically agar agar we will add when the temperature of our mixture is 80 degrees centigrade. Okay, and then we will boil further. One good boil will bring, and that's all done. Okay, so if you see the amount of sugar, sugar is a lot, because then only you will get the nice shine. Okay, a nice texture of your glaze when you pour it. Otherwise, it's going to be thin and runny. Okay, so I add your, basically first I add cream, because I'll clean the ball of my cream. I don't want to waste the cream. So here again I clean. Okay. So we need a jug for that whenever you put. Okay. So jug and color. So we are going to add a color. Color depend what color you want, guys. Here I want a red color basically. Okay. So I'm going to add a dark red. Okay. So I just mix it a little bit, and I'm going to add a little bit of sugar again here. If you remember initially what I said, I'm going to add a little bit of sugar here also in the agar agar also. Okay. So again, I start here. And my thermometer is here. I will turn it on. Okay. Mix it nicely. Make sure your sugar is been diluted nicely. Okay. Once the sugar is dilute and your temperature of your mixture reach 80 degrees centigrade, that time you will add the agar agar inside. Okay. And then bring a good boil. Okay. Then once the boil comes, then you pour inside of the deep jug or maybe jar, whatever you have in the market or in your house. So you just buy, maybe if you want to buy from the market, you can buy like this jar, and basically the thing is it's easy to blend. Okay. Blender, yeah. So we as I said, blender definitely we need. Okay, we are going to blend it. Okay. So blender right now these days is very important part of any pastry chef. We blend mousse and everything also. Okay. Sometimes if you need, you feel like your mousse is a little bit of lumpy and all, you can blend it. Okay. So I'm going to put the thermometer inside in the mixture. I'll just check the thermometer with the thermometer. Once the temperature goes 80, I'll just stop there itself and start adding the agar-agar. So here in the full recipe, if you see guys, I have used agar-agar only for glaze. Okay, I didn't made mousse with agar-agar. I didn't made a raspberry a lychee confit with agar-agar. I didn't made anything with the agar-agar. Basically all the eggless product we make with the pectin only. Okay, so pectin is a good source to thicken or to give a stability to your mousse. Okay, so here the temperature is going up. It's almost 45, 55 degrees centigrade right now. $60. 65 degrees. So I'm just waiting the desired temperature to come. Okay, so the desired temperature is 80 degrees centigrade, guys. Okay, now it's 70. And I'll show you in the camera once it's reached in the 80. As you can see here, it's almost 72. Okay, 75. So temperature is very, very important, guys. Okay. $77. Two more. And 80 is reached. I stop it here itself. Okay. I just mix it nicely. And then I'm going to add I just mix it nicely so that all the agar-agar has been blended with the sugar. I just mix it. And we need a ice cold water also for that, just because you need right now in one. I'll show you the technique how you can make a. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn it on again and boil it. So basically the lump should not form inside. That's why I turn off. The moment temperature keeps going up, the agar-agar sets fast. Okay, so that's the reason. I don't want the agar-agar setting immediately. And cold water also we'll take in one bowl later. So basically this is the mother recipe of a glaze. So you can convert this glaze in multicolor. Basically you want brown, you can go brown color. You want yellow, you can go yellow color. You want red, you can go red color. So multicolor you can make with this recipe. It's basically neutral color right now. Okay, you want white, you can go with white color also with a vanilla pot. Small speck you can put inside and it looks really nice. Okay. So I'm just waiting for the good boil and then I'll pour over inside of this. And then I add glaze, I blend it. And my glaze will be ready. So I need, so you can see here with the side camera, it start boiling, but I want one of the good boil so that it's set. Okay, that's all. I got a good boil on my glaze. Okay, and I'm going to pour inside a jug. Okay, and this glaze you can use as much as time you need. You know, you can store it when you want. You just melt it again, and I'll just blend it, and then after that I will put in one steel bowl, and I just cool it down maybe later. So here the color is here basically. So guys, whenever you are using gel color, so make sure you count the drops, okay? Because that is your measurement. You just cannot go with the grammage. So you count the drops. So here I'm going to put the 40 drop at least. Okay, and I'll go little one small drop of brown so that I will get the dark red color. Okay, just one drop, not too much. That's all. Okay, so now I'm going to blend it. When you blend it, you just blend in the slow speed, not too fast. Again, it depends how much color you need. If you want dark, you can add more. If you want light, then that's fine. Okay, so the call is yours. Okay, so you can see the color. Okay, here. So right now it seems like a very thin. So we need one more steel ball on top of this so that you know. I'll just cool it down right now. I will just check the temperature and tell you the temperature of this is right now almost 78 degrees centigrade. We have to bring it down. Okay. So I have my spatula. So what I'm going to do, if you need faster, what you're going to do, I will just pour inside. This is the easy technique because if you are using immediately, if you are using like a, say about tomorrow, if you are going to use, then you can keep in the chiller or leave it outside. Here, you just mix it like that. There's the cold water and just mix. Okay. Very, very easy to bring the temperature down. Okay, after that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to dip the cake and then I will explain one more time how we work. Okay, so that you guys get proper knowledge and if there's any doubt, it will be clear. Okay. Okay, you just mix it. So I'll change the water. However, the water got little hot. I'll change it. And then you can see right now, still it's like thin. Okay, again, I'll use the cold water. And however, my cake is frozen, it's set fast. Okay, once I pour the glaze on top of that. So basically, your temperature of your glaze has to be like, say, about 45 degrees centigrade. If your cake is minus 30 degree or in between of 25 or minus 30 degree. So 45 degree temperature glaze is perfectly fine. Okay. So, however, my cake is in the blast chiller. It will be almost like say about minus 30. But the moment we take it up, it goes little up. Okay. So still, so you just cool it down. Okay, it's getting thick now. I can see that. Okay. And I'll check the temperature with a thermometer. You can check. Okay, it's almost say about 48 degrees centigrade right now. So maybe 1 or 2 degree, I'll just bring it down and then I'll start pouring on my cake. I'll just dip the cake and then I'll do the garnishing. Okay. Okay. That's all. I'll pour it back. Now you can see it's little thick. Okay. Wipe it nicely. And that's all. It's ready to pour right now. However, it was a demo class, so I cannot keep for long and hold you guys. So this is the easy way. Now you can see the glaze is, you can see the color is ready. Okay. So agar is very important thing here. So yeah. So now we will bring the cake, which is already set. Cake, you have to see if the side the mousse, sometimes the mousse come little bit, you just trim it off and then you pour the glaze. Make sure your base is ready here. Okay. And so you can see from the side camera when I pour it. My garnish is also I kept ready because otherwise it will be too long for you. Okay, on live to make the garnish. So garnish is ready. I just show you how to make the eggless cake basically. Okay, entremet I would say. Yeah, so it's ready. Here you can see. Okay, and I just demold it. All right, I just demold it. It's perfectly fine, and I'll pour the glaze now. Okay. So you can see, guys. Okay, you just pour it. Make sure it's covered everywhere. So again, you can pour if you want. Full. Okay. It's set. Okay. So that is a very easy way to cool down your glaze. So this glaze again we can lift it off with a cling wrap and we can put it back. Okay. So you can see the cake was, I just clean it off nicely, pick it up and I place on my board. Like that. This goes on the side and again this one we can pick it up later. We just will take like that. Okay, I want little bit set this thing. Okay. So basically you just take it off like that. Let it cool down and then I will lift it up and take it back. Okay, that's all it is. My area is clean and I take a garnish from there, which I made yesterday. Now you can see here, this is my cake, which is already ready. And I made a garnish also. So with the red, I want to go red itself. So I made dual garnish. You can see white and red. Okay. So I placed from the side. Okay, like this. So I just want to go this way. Okay, like this. And so and I have a gold leaf, which will give a rich look to my cake. So I would love to use gold leaf too. So that's how it's been done. You can see the cake is ready. Okay, and the glaze, you just cannot difference is you cannot see the difference between make cake made with egg and without egg. It seems same. Okay, only and it's a very easy method to make eggless one. You see the sponge method, it's a very easy. Xanthan gum is there, baking powder is there, baking soda is there, oil is there, water is there, raspberry puree is there, sugar is there, and flour is there. So basically if you see all the liquid with the sugar, I mix first, and then xanthan gum, baking powder, baking soda, and flour. Okay, I mix together, sieve it, and then I put inside of the bowl. Then I mix it nicely, and I didn't mix too much so that it should not form basically gluten. That's why. And then I just spread it, and I bake in 180 degrees centigrade for 10 minutes. Okay. Then I made a lychee confit. So lychee confit, again, if you see, there is a only lychee puree is there, liquid glucose is there, sugar is there, and pectin is there, and lychee chunks basically. When you say confit, so chunks has to be there. So what I did here, puree, lychee puree, half sugar, liquid glucose. I just bring a boil, not boil. I just heat up till until 45 degrees centigrade, and then I add the my pectin inside of that, and then I bring a good boil. Once the boil comes, then I pour inside of the desired mold. Okay, and then I freeze it in the blast chiller. Okay, then what I did, I just cut the sponge, piece of sponge, I put it on top of the confit, and again I put in the blast freezer. Then I made a mousse. Mousse was cream cheese, there was raspberry puree, there was the pastry cream, there was the cream basically, and sugar. So what I did, basically puree I put first, then uh, pectin and little bit of sugar. When the puree came 45 degrees centigrade, I put pectin inside. I bring a good boil. Once it becomes a little thick, then I add cream cheese inside. I mix it nicely until there's no lumps or my cream cheese is already dissolved. Then what I did, I put a pastry cream. I mix nicely with a hand whisk. Once it's smooth, then I whip the cream. I fold the cream inside of the mousse. And finally, what I did, I made a Italian meringue, basically like Italian meringue with the aquafaba, with the chickpea water. I whipped nicely with one sugar syrup. sugar syrup 116 to 117 or 18 degree you can go, but I went 116. However, the quantity of my sugar was very less. So if I go 17, sometime what happens become too thick. So it's very difficult for you pour inside. Okay. However, your pan is hot. By the time you reach to the KitchenAid bowl, it automatically it will reach 117 or 118 degrees centigrade. That's what I did. I pour inside. I whip nicely. Once it's cooled down, then I pour in my mousse. I fill the mold, and then what I did, I take the insert which was in the blast chiller, hard one. I push inside. Make sure when you make a insert, make sure your insert is hard. Okay, it should be rock hard. The reason is when you push inside, it doesn't change the shape. Okay, otherwise what happens when you cut the cake, one side will be like a mousse, too much of mousse, and it will be like a tilting. So your insert should not tilt; it should be straight. So it will come straight only when your insert is hard. So basically the insert was hard. I push inside and then I clean nicely. I put a raspberry syrup, which was raspberry puree, water and sugar. So I boiled it so that it's easy to apply on the cold sponge. So guys, when you apply the sugar syrup, there one method is apply. Either your sponge has to be warm or your sugar syrup has to be warm. So here what we did, however my sponge was cold, so I used hot raspberry sugar syrup. I apply on top. I clean it. I put in the blast chiller. After that, I make a glaze. So glaze, if you see, there was a water, there was a cream, there was agar agar. Here was no pectin. Okay. So pectin, what happens sometimes you get a little bit of lumps. Okay. And we use agar agar. Agar agar is very good for glazing. Okay. So I use agar agar. And what I did again, cream, water, half sugar. I bring 100. I bring in the temperature of 80 degrees centigrade. That was the desired temperature for my glaze. And this 80 degrees centigrade goes only for agar agar. Okay. So once the temperature came 80 degree, I put agar agar inside. I mix nicely, and then I bring a good boil. Then I pour over the inside of the jug. I blend it with the color. Okay, and then I put in the double boiler bath, which was the cold water, so that the temperature comes down. Okay, and once the temperature is 45 degrees centigrade, I pour over it and did the presentation. And this is the cake which is in front of you. I hope you like the class, and uh, thank you for watching live to me, and it was a very good opportunity for me to give a share my knowledge. Okay, and that's all. Okay, and all the best, and thank you very much.